Welcome back. I'm Jim Quick, your Superbrain coach in this quest. So you're probably asking yourself, how does this all work and how do I get the most out of all of this? So let me tell you a little bit about how this quest is set up and it's structured so you get the most out of this. So each day, over 30 days, you're gonna get one bite-sized technique that's easy digestible that you can put into use right away and get results with right away. Because that's really the focus of this quest. It's gonna be fast, meaning everybody has 7, 10, 15 minutes to be able to join us for this lesson. There's no excuse to not be able to do that every single day because it's fast, because you're busy. Number two, it's gonna be fun. I promise you, we talked about learning is play, and the best learners, the children, love to be able to play. So we're gonna have fun with this. We're gonna use our imagination. We're gonna supposed to do new and imaginative things. And finally, it's gonna be fulfilling, where there's gonna be an immediate reward. You're gonna be able to remember names right away. You're gonna be able to remember those lists, remember where you put things, give that speech confidently without using notes. So it'll be fulfilling, fast, fun, and also fulfilling. Now, besides the bite-sized training that we set up in accelerated learning fashion, it's also, we have these homework assignments, and that's really where the magic happens. You can't just learn something in theory and not practice it, because remember, knowledge is not power, knowledge is potential power. It only becomes power when you put it into action. When you act on it, you roll up your sleeves and you do it. So that's why it's so important to be able to do the homework. So I want you, as you're watching this, to commit to be able to show up each of the 30 days and commit to doing the homework assignment, because that's where your real payoff happens. Number one, you have your bite-sized techniques and lessons. Number two, why it works is you have your homework assignments, and so you have to do the homework assignments, and there's not even work assignments, they're home fun assignments. And finally, number three that makes it work is the implementation days, and that's why I'm really excited. That's where every few days we get together, and this is your time where we could go deeper, we could review some of your progress, we could review some of the techniques, and you could practice these techniques. Because remember, practice makes progress. It doesn't make perfect, it makes progress. Practice makes progress, or practice makes permanent. And that's what we're gonna do during the implementation days. Those are the days where we consolidate it and we really lock it in into your long-term memory. So the entire quest has 4 parts. We focus on what I call the 4 T's. You'll learn techniques. Number one, you'll learn the techniques. How do you remember someone's name step by step? How do you learn a language faster step by step? How do you remember a grocery list? How do you remember where you place things? How do you remember facts and figures? All the exciting things that we're going to talk about step by step. Because here's the thing, it's not that you have a memory, you do a memory. So we turn it into an exact process. So I'm going to share with you the best tactics and techniques. The second T that we're going to focus on in this quest is toughness. Mental toughness, because it's not just about mental intelligence, it's about mental fitness. And so, for example, recently I walked into my office and I was the first one there, and the phone was ringing, I picked it up, and there was a woman on the line. She said, "I love you, I love you, I love you." I'm like, "Whoa, who's this?" And she's like, "I found it." And we find what? She's like, "Have you ever been given something and you hid it somewhere, or you came up with a password that was so clever?" She was given a family heirloom from her grandmother. It was a necklace, and it didn't go to her mother or 3 sisters, it went to her. And she hid it somewhere in her home, and it was so clever, she didn't realize where she put it. And a year went by, 2 years went by, 3 years went by, and she thought it was stolen. And she was so heartbroken because of it. She got so much guilt, so much slack from her family, and she didn't know where it was. And after going through this kind of training, she woke up in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock in the morning. She ran down 2 flights of stairs behind the boiler in the basement. She pulled out in this crevice. What'd she pull out? That necklace, and she found it. And I told her, "You know, we didn't teach you how to remember where you put lost items." And she's like, "I don't know what's going on, but my brain feels like it's younger. I feel like that I can remember things. I'm not even using the techniques." And that says a lot about mental fitness, where you just show up because you're stronger. And she said, this was her parting words, said, "Jim, thank you so much for giving me my brain back." And that's another part of the promise, is you're gonna have some mental toughness. A super brain is fast and it's agile, it has energy, and it has strength, so toughness. The third T we're gonna focus on is this thing called theory. And it's a small percentage of this quest, but I noticed when I added about 1% of theory in terms of how your brain works and the neuroscience behind it, that it helped our students to be able to learn a little bit better, because they want to understand why and how things work. So if in order to do the what, you need to sometimes know why things work. So I'm going to give you 1% of the theory. And the fourth reason why I know this is going to be successful for you and your loved ones is the fourth T, called tribe. Because as I mentioned, learning is not solo, it's social. And we learn best when we interact with people, when we're not just consuming information, but we're co-creating it. That it's not just about your neurological networks or your biological networks, it's about your social networks. Because who you spend time with is who you become. So be active in your tribe, be active, sharing your best learning, sharing your stories, because yes, I will teach you what I know in this program, but also so much learning is going to happen with each other. Because I do believe in this thing called team, right? That we're all part of the same team. That as we rise the waters, all the ship rises along with it. And what does team stand for? You know it. Say it together. Together, everyone achieves more. And we can all help each other on this. So that's the exciting news, is that you're not alone. You know, you have me as your coach, your super brain coach, and you have each other. And we're gonna be there to be able to support each other, be able to share with each other, and also cheer each other on, because this is gonna be a lot of fun together. In the next video, I'm gonna share with you my secret technique, 4 steps on how to learn any subject or any skill faster. And we're gonna apply it towards our quest together. I'll see you there.